Good evening, everybody. Please, if you can hear me, can you use a reaction? Use a reaction if you can hear me, please. Thumbs up if you can hear me, please. No, that's raising up your hand. That's fine. All right. So giving thumbs up means you can hear me. All right. That's good. Okay. So all right. My name is Emmanuel of Ogamas Technologies. The instructor for this training. Okay. So I don't want to talk more because we really have this training for. We have this training just for 3 days. So I want us to maximize it very well. So Omoni, you can lower your hand now, please. Thank you. Okay, so moving on. So this course is for kids, but like I said on the group, anybody that's interested in learning programming can also participate. Okay, so I'm going to just dive straight to what we have for today. We're going into programming, coding, robotics. Coding and robotics, programming and robotics are similar, but just that robotics is the hardware aspect of it, and coding is more or less like the software where you write lines of code. Sorry, parents, if you are here with your child, can you give thumbs up? For those of you that I can see that we have 7 participants, if you're here with your child, can you give thumbs up, please? Parents, you are here with your child. Hello, can you hear me, please? Hello? Can you hear me, please? Okay, that means you hear your child. Alright, okay, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to just move on. Alright, so this is the slide I have for this class, this training. So we're going to introduction to programming. Alright, so like I said, before 15 minutes to the end of the class, we're going to start attending to questions. So let's dive into what we have here. Now, what's programming? When you hear the term programming, what comes to your mind as a beginner? See, programming is writing computer code to create a program in order to solve a problem. Now that I started by a keyword, what? Problem. So it means that you writing a code, you coming here to learn these programming skills is to do what? To solve a problem. That's the first thing that should come to your mind. I was in the training yesterday, and in an event yesterday, a tech event, and one of the instructors said something which is true. Though there's money in programming, yes, there's money in tech. Trust me, there's a whole lot of money. People earn over 400k per month, even per jobs in tech. Yeah. But the problem, the thing is this: their mind is not. Even though you have the mindset that okay, your thing will generate money from it, but your target should be what? Be able to solve problem, and that's what programming is all about. Being able to what? To solve a problem. That's it. So a program consists of a series of instructions to tell a computer exactly what to do and how to do it. That's programming. Okay, so you tell the computer, writing set of codes to the computer that okay, I need you to help me do this, I need to help me do that, I need this thing to be done. That's what programming. Okay, so please, if you're following me, can you give me thumbs up? Okay, I guess you're raising up your hand, it means you're following me. Okay, alright. Okay, so now program consists of, okay, I already said that. A program is like giving the computer a secret instruction to make do cool stuff. Now I wrote this here that it says secret instructions. Now programming is like, because all programming languages are different. So just like we have different languages in Nigeria, we have Igbo, we have Yoruba. Let me just major on the 3 major ones, and the Hausa, yeah. So just like we have those 3 major ones, now each programming language has different languages. See, they understand differently. So if I'm writing, there are many programming languages that exist, over hundreds of thousands of programming languages that exist, many that I don't even know, and many that I know. So there are so many programming languages, but all of them, they have the same format, the same syntax, but different way of speaking. Just like you want to say, "Hi, my name is James." Yeah, just the aim is to say what, my name is James. So you can say it in different languages. That's my point. But the result will still be what, the same. That's what I mean. So the same syntax, but just we're getting what, the result. So I can speak. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not even sharing my screen. I thought I was sharing my screen. I just realized now that I'm not sharing my screen. Sorry, can you see my screen, please? Hello, please, if you can see my screen, give me thumbs up. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I just realized now that I was not sharing my screen. So sorry about that. Yeah, this is what I was saying. That what is programming? This is what I just said. Thank God I've not gone so far. Writing code to create program and to solve a problem. Yeah, this is what I just said here. So I said it's like giving the computer with secret instructions to do that, to do one or two things. All right. So you write down a code. Write down a list of steps. Write down a list of steps. Okay. You write down a list of steps in a special language. Okay, and the computer follows those steps to solve puzzles or make things happen. It's like being the boss of the computer and telling what to do. Okay, so let me continue what I'm saying. Okay, so now we have imagine you have a robot friend who can understand and follow your instructions, but it only speaks a special language called code. Programming is like telling your robot what to do by giving it a list of step by step instruction in this special language. Now, by giving it step by step instruction, it means that our code, we need to write our code. Or the code is being in programming, your code is being executed from top to bottom. Okay, so when you write your code, the code is executed from the top. The program is being executed from the first line of code down to the second till they get to the end, the last line of code. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but when we start programming in our programming language, you'll be able to understand that better. Don't worry. Okay, so moving on. So it's like telling your robots, giving him, okay, I have a script, and I said, okay, I want you to do this thing, like sending, like when your parents send you on an errand. I'm not going to, you're not a robot, fine. I'm talking to the children now. You're not a robot, you get the point. But when your parents send you to an errand that you should go and do this, then do this, then do that, go and wash the plates, then you do this. And washing the plates, you have, okay, let me wash a plate, for example. You want to wash your plate, right? What do you do first? You have to, the plate has to be dirty, right? That's one. If it's not dirty anyways, you have to take it to the kitchen where it's being washed, right? So that is like the program language. You need to know the program language you want to use to execute this particular line of code. Okay, so in this program language, for this, in this instance, is the plate washing, which you want to do, right? So we want to wash the plates, so you go to the kitchen, right? So the kitchen is not like the programming language itself. If you want to watch a TV, you go to the sitting room, right? And then you on the TV. Those are the steps you take to do what, to watch a TV. The steps you take to watch the plate is what, you go to the kitchen and all that. So the point is, the kitchen is a programming language, while the steps you take to execute this code is now what, your code. Okay, so it's not like you writing the code. So it's like you wash your plate, you go to the kitchen, you get the plates, you get the soap, you get the water, and you start watching. And when you're done, you put it somewhere to dry, and you're done with the code. That's what happens. So when you're done with it, your code is, the robot is already done executing the code. Similarly with the television explanation I gave earlier. Okay, so if you're following me, please can you give me thumbs up? If you understand what I just said, can you give me thumbs up? No, raising up your hand is different from thumbs up. I need the reaction. This reaction, if you can click the triple dots, the triple dots, if you're using your mobile phone, you click on the triple dots on your right, and then you see reactions, emojis. You can use the emojis thumbs up there, and you can use any of the celebration, anyone. So if you could see that, you can do that. All right, please jot down your questions, like I said, to 15 minutes in the class. Okay, so moving on. So now we have, like I said, we have a lot of programming language, as you can see here. So this programming language is different from this one, different from this one, different from this and all that, but they all serve what, they all can accomplish similar goals. Like you can create a website with a PHP and HTML, but I'm very sure you can create a website with a Java, this thing. So they have different functions. Okay, they have different what functions, different way of doing things. Just like we have this this application now, this Google Meet is for meeting. I can't use it to be chatting with people. I have to go to use what, the WhatsApp application. So all programming languages are different to use different stuffs. Okay, different programs. Okay, now I want to say emphasize more on how this programming language work. Okay, so I want to try and finish this slide between now and 8:30. Okay, so to start, I think I should to finish it by then. To start, we need to tell the robot what we want to do. Now let's say we want to make a sandwich. This is more emphasis for those of you that didn't already understand it earlier. This is more emphasis on it. I'm going to use a sandwich as an example. We break down the process into simple steps, like you take 2 slices of bread, you spread the peanut butter on one slice and then put jelly on the other slice, and each of these steps is what? Each of these steps is a command written in the robot's language called code. So you can see by the right hand side here, if you can see, let me zoom in a little bit. I think maybe we're not seeing this thing clearly. Okay, I think this is okay. All right, so you can see that these are the steps to take to get what the sandwich was prepared. So you can't, the code will just, if you have an error in one part of the code in Python or similar other programming languages, some programming languages differ. So some programming language will allow you to run the code completely, and when it gets to the place that has error, it will throw an error there. While some will never run the code at all until that error is fixed. For example, the language robots understand, one of the programming language that we use to write our robots, that's the Arduino programming language. I'm going to go into that anyways. So I'm going to go into that in am I too fast? Please, am I too fast? Thumbs down if I'm too fast. Thumbs up if I'm not too fast. Give me thumbs down if I'm too fast. Thumbs up if I'm not too fast. Thumbs down is located at the last emoji, so you can slide to your right when you click on the emoji side. Alright, so it means I'm not too fast. Alright, thank you. Okay, so that's that. So like I said, the programming languages differ from each other, right? Okay, so now once we have all the steps written in the right order, we give the list to the robot. It reads it from what, top to bottom, like I said earlier, and follows each instruction exactly the way it is. So as a result, the robot makes a yummy sandwich. That's just similar stuff, yeah, just the way we want it. Okay, so that's that. So in real life, computers are like super smart robots. Instead of sandwich, we can tell them to do all sorts of things, like drawing pictures, yeah, like drawing pictures and playing games, or even software. Now these games we're talking about now are programs that are being used to what, do these things. Okay, so there are programs that are being created. So we use special programming language like Python or Scratch. I'm going to talk about these two programming languages, but we're going to do more on this free session, this Python programming language. Okay, so now to give our computer instructions to the computer. Okay, yeah, we use special programming language like Python and Scratch to give instructions to the computer. So these are like the simplest programming languages that exist. Now they are in two categories, which we are going to go to now next. Now the reason why I separated out these two is because one of them is in one category and the other one is another category, and they are both the simplest programming language in both categories. Now talking about the categories, I'm talking about the types of what programming languages. That's a programming rather. Now these two programs fall in each of them, like I said. Okay, now we have the two types of programming. What are they? The first one is what? The test. Sorry, I want to pause a little bit. Are you following me, please? Please, if you are following me, give me thumbs up. Alright, I can see some thumbs up here, so it means you are following. All right, so moving on. I said the text based programming language now, it's like using words to tell the computer what to do. It's like writing down the code, writing down instructions in the secret code, just like writing just like saying you want to write Yoruba or Igbo or Hausa in piece of paper, right? Like learning Yoruba, Igbo and Hausa, you're writing it in a language. So if I write Yoruba in paper and give let me say an Igbo man who doesn't know Yoruba at all, and I give it to him to read it, he won't be able to read it, right? Yeah, but then it's in text. That's the point. The point of this context here is text programming, what is written in text, right? Let me show you what I mean. I'm still going to show you more. Text based programming. I'm going to show you more a little. Just give me some minutes. I'll show you some pictures of text based programming. Now this is the text based programming here. Okay, as you can see on my screen. This is text based programming. Okay, you can see the writings are written in what? Oh, sorry. Hold on. I need to share my entire screen. Okay, can you see my screen? Can you see my screen now? So this here is text based programming. You can see the words are written in text. I know many of us don't know what this thing means, but at least you can read it. This is var, this is tells you, this is require. I mean, this is English, right? So it's written in text, but only this particular program understands it. Okay. All right. Did you get that? So now that is text-based programming. They are written in words. That's the meaning. Okay. So moving on. Are we cleared on text-based programming, please? Thumbs up if you are cleared. Thumbs up if you are clear on text-based programming, please. Okay. All right. So moving on, now we have don't worry, if you have any question, like I said, 15 minutes at the end of the class, we'll dive into question and answers. Okay. So just give us some time. Okay. Just give us some patience. Okay. All right. So now moving on, we have on the second type is a block-based programming. Now let me just tell you quickly. An example of a text-based programming is the Python, like I said. I told you that the two of them fall into the two categories, and Python is the simplest text-based programming language. Okay, while Scratch is the simplest block-based programming. We have text-based and block-based programming. So these all kinds of programming languages fall under these two categories. All of these types of programming languages you're seeing here, all fall under what? Either these two. So either it is a text-based or is what? A block-based programming. Whichever be the case, they are what? Either of these two. They fall under these two programming. Okay, do you get that? They fall under there. Now the block-based programming now is like using pictures of blocks with different shapes and colors. Come in, is open. Using different pictures of blocks with different shapes and colors. Okay, it's like using pictures of blocks with different shapes and colors. Now each block represents a different command, like move forward, turn left. You can snap it. Now the point is, let me show you a block-based programming now. Sorry. And this is a block-based programming by this side here. Okay, now the point here, this is different between the two of them. The point is the text block-based, all you need to do is also drag, just like building blocks. All you need to do is also drag the block and put it there. So drag the block and drop it. So is that what I wrote here? You snap these blocks together to create a chain of what? Instructions. Here's my mouse. To create a chain of what? Instructions. So you build your code using what? Blocks. So very simple blocks, like you can see this one, you wrote define prime if this. All you need to just click and drag. That's what you're doing in block-based programming. Let me show you the example. Let this be loading. This is example. This is Scratch programming language. Okay, let's just be loading. while I continue. So do you understand it now? The block is just like when you were little, your parents would have, mom and daddy would have gotten you some blocks to play with. Then you try to build a house with the block. I don't know how many of us that did that. I think I did that when I was 10. It was existing. So you do those kind of blocks, right? So that kind of blocks is what I'm talking about. So those are the blocks that you use towards to build it. So if a particular block does not fit in, you know that this block is not for this particular slot, you remove it and find a block that fits into that one. Similarly, in block-based programming, it does the same thing. So you have to find a block that fits into it, that does actually not just fitting in, that does what you want it to do. Okay, now this is Scratch, for example. Now this is a block-based programming. Now all you need to do is just to click, drag, and you can see the code here. This is move 10 steps. You can see this block here. You can see this space here, and you can see this one here. So that whatever code that is coming next can either must either enter it, or if it cannot fit in, it's not going to work. Now this one now, I cannot come and put it under here, but this one I can put it under here and to snap in well. But this block I can't bring it down here. Why? Because it does not have it. What it has is only this one, which means I can come and put it in this place. Now that's I'm just going to show you guys an example of a block-based programming language. It's just click, drag and drop. That's block programming language. Drag and what? Drag and drop. Alright, so are we clear on that, please? Are we clear on that, please? Thumbs up, please. Alright. Okay, alright, thank you very much. Okay, so now we are proceeding now. So this is the pictures again once on my slide. So you can see it here, the two of them, the block and the text-based programming language. Okay, so so text-based is like writing sentences for the computer, and block-based is like putting the codes, colorful puzzles to make things happen. Now both ways are super fun and help you make awesome stuff. Now I'm on the last notes now. We have, remember, just like learning any new programming, any new language, it takes practice to get. I want you to remember this. It takes practice to get really good at programming. Yes, just like you learn, you grow, right? Do daily activities and to become perfect in what you are doing. Similarly, in programming, you need to keep on practicing. You need to be enthusiastic. You need to be interested. You need to put in more effort to learn more. It's very simple. Trust me. It's very, very simple. Programming is like an easy way to make money. Okay, it's very simple, and I encourage. I like it that parents are actually keen into this for this training, so that you know that the importance of this in your child's growth helps them a lot. So you start with simple programs and you're able to get things done. So in this training now, we're going to go into Python and Arduino. Now we're going to use Python for our basic normal coding, and then Arduino programming for our robotics Arduino programming language for our robotics training. Okay, that will be in the last tomorrow or next tomorrow, one of them. So let's see. Now I want to dive into the first course. Now we have the Python programming language. I'm going to send you a link on how to get Python installed on your computer. For those of you using the Python, for those of you using that have a laptop, a Windows laptop, not a Chromebook. You have a Windows laptop or a MacBook. I'm talking to the parents now, or the children. You have a Windows, I'm going to send you a link on how to install it on your computer this night. Yeah, let's just continue. So that's that. Now we have Python. Python for kids, and like I said, this thing is for kids. All right. So sorry, I think my mouse is. Please, can you hear me? Okay. Please, if you are hearing me, give me thumbs up. Alright, good. So now introduction, what is Python? What is Python? Now in Python, you can write programs by using words. Like I said, this falls under what the text-based programming and special symbols that the computer can understand. Now these programs can be simple or complex depending on what you want the computer to do. Now, Python is used in various fields like web development, data analysis, artificial intelligence, and more. It's versatile programming language. This is just some the English terms for it now. Python is friendly and it's very easy. Trust me, Python is very very easy. We've trained a lot of kids on this training, on this coding, and they've learned it. Didn't take overnight. So don't worry, even if you don't understand it, it's very very simple. So like I said, I already gave. I'm going to send a link to the video on how to install the Python to your computer. So this is just the basic steps on how to install it. So don't worry about this. I'm trying to skip this is because I already have it everything ready on the video. So I don't start explaining this again. After all, I'm not going to install it right away. Okay, so I already have it in the video. I'm going to send a link for us to watch as well as this. Alright, so moving on. Now we have, when you have installed your Python successfully on your computer. Okay, for those of you that don't have a laptop or are using a mobile phone, I know that's the question we want to ask next. Now I'm going to send a link now to the income message. Okay. Now for those of you using the mobile phone, this is the link. You're going to use the online platform. I call it the online platform. Why? Because you need to be online. You can use it on your mobile device. It's a website. Okay, so I'm going to send you the link now, so you can as well you can copy the link and save it somewhere else. Well, I'll send it on the group anyway. So that's that. So you use the online platform for that. Now in Python you have, so when you launch a Python, you have the first thing to do that, you press your window key and type IDLE. When you have installed your Python on your computer, your Windows or Mac OS, remember I said so, not Chromebook. Chromebook, you are good to use the online platform. Chromebook is more or less like uses Android OS, so it's more or less like using a smartphone, only that you're using it in a bigger screen. Okay, so you can use the online platform. That's fine. It fits you better. So that's that. So now IDLE. What's the meaning of IDLE? When you see the word IDLE, IDLE stands for Integrated Development Learning Environment. Now it's the environment where you use to write your code. It's the the place. It's just like a playground where you do your stuff, where you build your code. That's why it's called Integrated Development Learning Environment. Okay, so that's that. So I open my code. Now the first thing you will see when you open your IDLE, you can say I press the window key and then you type in the IDLE. That's what I just did here. Now the first thing you will see when you open it is what? The interactive window. Now Python has two windows. You have the interactive mode and the script mode. Now the interactive mode is just like saying hold on, please, if you can hear me, give me thumbs up. Good. Now you see what I said. Now if you can hear me, give me thumbs up. You gave me thumbs up immediately. That's how the interactive mode works. Okay, so I say thumbs up, you give me thumbs up. So it is like it's like call and response. I say hello, you say what? Hi. That's interactive modes. So once you write your code and you press the enter key on your keyboard, it sets you to what? It executes the codes immediately. It doesn't wait until, just like I said, if you can hear me, give me thumbs up. You did not wait until 9 o'clock before you tell me you can hear me or you give me thumbs up. You gave me thumbs up immediately to call that you can hear me. That's interactive mode. It returns your code. It runs execute your code immediately. You ask it to do that. That's how interactive mode works. That's the first thing you will see on your screen when you open your IDLE. So if you are using you obviously have the latest version 3 point something. So if I say let me just start with the basics. If I just tell the computer 2 plus 2, this is my IDLE. You can say I press enter key, it gave me 4 immediately. It didn't wait for me to write all my lines of code before saying okay, print 4. Okay, now for those of you using the online platform works on the script mode, so it does not have interactive mode at all. So don't worry about that. For those of you using the offline, you also work on interactive. The best mode is actually the script mode, where you can settle down, type your codes, and be able to execute them. Everything, see all your codes execute from top to bottom. Do you understand? So that's that. So to get to that script mode now, I know I said we have 2 modes, right? To get to the script mode, you click on when you open the interactive mode, because it's the first thing you will see. Yeah, so you click on file and you click on what? New file. So when you click on new file, which is the first item on that file, you will see a script Like where you can type in something, you can just type all stuff things there. But this is rubbish, right? You can say I press enter key and nothing is, my code is not executed. Why? Because I'm on the script mode. I'm on the script where I can write everything, and when I run my code, everything will be executed once. Now let's say I have, I say print. I'm coming out. I don't know if you don't understand what I'm writing now. 2 plus 2. Okay. Now you see I'm pressing enter key. Is not doing the same thing. I say 2 plus 4, 2 plus 5, 2 plus 8, 4 plus 3, this plus this, 1 plus 2. So if I run this code now, okay, to run the code now, is because it's the first time I'm writing this code, I will have to save my work. So I save my work first. So I save it in a particular file, gp4. Okay, so when I save it now, you see that all my lines of code are being executed at once. That is the script mode. So it allows you to write your code very well, and then what? The code be executed what? At once, one by one. Now you see that it's run the first line of code. 2 plus 2 is what? 4. 2 plus 5 is what? 7. 2 plus 8 is what? 10. 3 plus 2 is what? 5. So it's run the code from top to bottom, like I said earlier. Okay, so that is what happens in the what? Script mode. It allows you to write your code, and everything be executed from top to what? On top to what? Bottom. Okay, so that's that. All right, so moving on. So now the first thing now we normally do is, when you are trying to learn something new, just like when you're learning Yoruba, or you're learning Hausa or a new language, the way that is to start with what? Even in English language, you start with ABCD, right? So in programming, it's a custom to actually start, when you're trying to learn a new programming language, to start something with simple print statements, like to print hello world. You always try to use hello world. Now the hello world, just like you say, okay, because there are different ways, like I told you, there are different saying hi in a language is different from different languages. Saying hi in Yoruba is different from saying hi in Hausa, saying hi in Igbo and the likes. So similarly in programming, saying hello world in Python is different from Java, is different from C, is different from other programming language like that. Okay, so that's that. So now in Python, to print hello world is very simple. It's just one line of code. To print hello world in Java, let me show you. Print. Okay, all right. Let me just use this my link that I normally use. I believe you all can see my screen. All right. So now this is it. This is just a sample. Now this is in Python, to print hello world in Python. Now you see that print hello world in Python is just very simple. Print hello world in quotation, very simple. Now let's go to Java. Just to print hello world in Java, you have to type in public and do this and do that. If I come to Python, like I said in Yoruba, right? If I come to Python and say I copy this code, and I come to Java, a Java integrated learning environment, ideally a Java programming language, and I type print in quotes, in brackets, hello world, it will not understand what I'm saying. It will throw an error. The way it understands how to print in Java, this is the way it does. This is what it understands. So you need to write this line of code. You need to speak the language it understands. Otherwise, it will not be able to execute the code. Okay, I cannot carry Yoruba and come and speak to what an Hausa person. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. You getting me? So you must speak the language that the particular programming language understands. That is why we have language. So it must be able to understand what you're saying. Okay? Alright. So that's that. So now once you don't write so like I wrote here, let's print hello world. Let me use online platform for this. So instead of using your online platform, you may receive some ads. Just close the ad. You can close the ad, you are good to go. So now the first thing you need to do is, because this is a default something, it's just to tell you that you are on Python, just to show you a sample code. Okay, so I can clear everything on my screen. Clear everything on your screen, just press backspace. Now you see we have number here 1, 2, 3. So if I press something and I press enter, You can see the number is keep on back to tell you the lines of code they are writing. So to print hello world, I write print open brackets in quotes hello what word. So when I type this line of code and I execute it, it's going to what run it and print what hello world. Did you get that? That is it. Very simple. Very, very simple. Okay, so do we get that now? That's how you print hello world in Python. Very simple. So now to save your code, for those of you using, I've already showed you how to save your code in the offline. Those of you using the offline platform, to save my line of code, to do that using the online, you see you have a file. This is open. This to open a particular. Let's say you're using a mobile device, right? If you have your Python save some codes, you've written some lines of code and you want to upload it, you want to continue the code online and continue coding, you want to execute your code, okay? So you can come here and open the file from your system or from your mobile device, okay? So let me see if I have any Python file here. Okay, I have one. So you see that I open this one now, main.py. So once I click on the open this thing, and when you click open, it will show you. You have a mobile phone, so it will open to request you for to request access to your local disk, your phone storage. So you now go to where the file is located. You must know where the file is located on your mobile device. So in my case here, I must know where the file is located on my laptop. Okay, I'm still using the online platform, yeah. So I then look for the file. When I see the file name is main. I'm able to type this because I'm using a laptop here. So I look for the file and I type it main.py. Now Python saves this file as py. Python, the extension file is .py. That's Python, short for Python. So by the time I open the code, it opens this for me. Now you see we have main today. That's the same file I just opened. Okay, the same file I just opened. We have main today and main.py. You can see all that here. So now this is the code. I executed this code a while ago during one of these trainings. So you can see that I want to open the code. Now if I want to save this particular code, now, I want to save it to a new name or to any name. Now the default name is the main.py. Why for those of you using the offline platform, the default name is what? Untitled, because it's not titled. So I'm using the online platform now. So I come here, I can rename the file I want. I can rename it to, remember you must put .py in your Python file. So I can rename it to what? Group 4. I think this is group 4. Group 4.py. Okay, so I say yes, file name, and I said yes. Okay, so when I say yes, it will download automatically to your mobile device. So when it's downloaded on your mobile device, to execute the code, some of you will just want to open it like that. No, you need to what? Come to your Python ideally and open the code from there. Okay, for those of you using the online platform, you need to open the website and then you come to this disk and what? Launch your code from there. So you can see my file here as the recent file on my download folder, group 4. So you can see the file name is now what? Changed to what? Group 4. It's the same, the another file is here. So I can equally close all this code by clicking on this cancel button. You say your changes will be lost. Are you sure you want to close the file? I have this my file is being since I did not save it locally. So it's good to go. I can equally just close it since I didn't make any change. So if you make any change, always try to what? Save your code. Okay, try to save your code. So just make sure you save your code in your local disk and you have it filed to yourself. All right, so I'm going to pause now on this particular aspect. I said I'm going to take the questions 15 minutes to the end of the class. So I'm going to take our questions right away. So if you have any question, now is the time. Please drop your questions on the e-call message. I'll attend to the questions now. So please drop your questions. Please, okay. Please, I cannot get a recording of this class. Yes, please. If you read the message on the group, I said all recordings will be sent to the class. Okay, so the recordings will be the call is being recorded. Okay, this training is being recorded. So take note of that. So drop your questions now. Take the questions. Question time, please. How are you? I'm sorry, this is why I said that you should. But that's you can't point now. Question time, please. Question time. Hello. Should I assume you're typing our questions? Yeah, what's our aim in 3 days? Okay, our aim is to, we already started by learning what programming is, right? So our aim was to cover these things, these three things in programming. We have the programming which we already covered. We'll go into the basics of Python, and then we go into robotics training. Okay, so the robotics and Python, we'll continue Python tomorrow, and then I'm not going to stop here. If you don't have any question, I can continue from here until 9 o'clock. Our training ends by 9. So after that, okay, so I guess I've answered that question. Then we'll go into the introduction to robotics. Okay, so what are we going to be learning after this class? We're going to continue the Python class because Python is broad. So we're still not going to finish everything anyways. So I'm just going to try and finish what we can do. Okay, so I am going to yeah, this is going to be our assignment. I'm going to drop the assignment on the group. I'm going to do the assignment on the group. So I want us to answer this question. Okay, I'm going to do the assignment on the group. So any other question, any other question, any other question? After Python, we're going to learn Arduino programming. We're going to learn robotics. We're going to go into the introduction of robotics. So question time, please. If there's no question by 8:50, I'll quickly summarize what I just did. I'm going to learn all that in 3 days. Yes, I'm going to learn all that in 3 days. I'm just going to go into. This training is just an exposure to tell you the things you can actually do with yourself. And I mean, as a child, and then with parents, what your kids can actually do by themselves, to expose them to these trainings, to let them know that okay, they can actually do a whole lot of things. And one thing about programming, it expands their critical thinking, helps them to think outside the box. Okay, that's one beautiful thing about programming. So don't think that programming is a time waster. No, it doesn't waste any time. It actually solves a lot of problems because we're trying to think of a problem to solve with what the programming language they actually gotten. Okay, so I don't know. I've answered the question now. Pascal, I've answered the question. Yeah, Pascal, you asked 2 questions. Mr. Patrick John, I've answered the question. All right, thank you. Pascal, what about you? I thought we were going to ask questions. Does that mean that we have? Wow, I appreciate this opportunity. It's high time Nigeria going to take. Yeah, exactly. You get the point. It's high time Nigeria going to, because if you look around, a lot of guys abroad, they have actually kids abroad. They are CEOs in tech companies. Okay, so we actually want to bridge that gap. Nigerians, we can do more. We can do it. We can do it. Okay, so that's what we want to do. That's what we're doing in Nagamas Technologies. We're trying to get you guys to know, to what expose you to all this. So thank you very much for that comment, Mr. Pascal. Okay, so any other question, please? Any other question? If there's no question, just drop on the income message. Question about this class. Just drop on the income message, no question. So I know that there's no question. I'll just continue and summarize everything I've just said. Just drop on the income message, no question, so I can continue. Just summarize on the, just tell me on the income message, no question, please. What's the meaning of Python? Okay. Python is a programming language that you use to write codes that a computer would understand. I think we talked about it here in the beginning of the class. Let me just go back to it so you understand it better. Let me read what is there. Now, Python is a programming language that's easy to use, easy to understand. Okay. Hello, can you hear me, please? You use Python to do what? To write the code, to communicate with the computer, to build specific codes. Now, we're going to do some. How I put it now? What's the question exactly? No questions from here. What's the meaning of Python? Python is a programming language. It's a text-based programming language that you use to write the program, to create programs that the computer will learn to, like creating programs like desktop applications, web applications, data analysis, and all what have you. So I'm seeing that there's no question here, so I think I can continue with what I have here. What's the name? Okay, I may have answered the question now. Okay, I don't think I've answered your question. So if you don't really understand, I said explain it in the beginning of the class. I think I was in page 12. Okay, so now we have comments in our Python. I think I'll stop in these comments. Now comments, just like I've been saying all this now. If I want, comments are used. Okay, let me just read what we have here. Comments are used to add explanatories to explanatory notes to your code. They are not executed by the Python interpreter and are intended for human readers only. This is the function of the comments. They are what's intended for what human readers. In Python, comments start with the @ symbol. Now, Python comments. Now it's like this when you write that line of code. Okay, it means that the comments in Python, it means that that line of code will, Python will not understand it. You're writing something that Python will not understand. Like I can say, for example, this should print hello world. Now I don't want Python to understand that this is what I don't want Python to run this code. I just want me as a user or anybody that sees this line of code to know that this is what this particular line of code will do. So when you run your program, it's going to do that. It's going to, so anybody that sees this code and say, okay, this particular file is a Python code to print what hello world. How I said this will print hello world. So to enable for me to be able to do that, to hide this code from Python to understand, I will start my line of code with the # symbol. The # symbol is Shift 3 for those of you using a computer. Shift 3, or you press the number key and you see it on your mobile device. So when you do that, this line of code will be what's hidden from the computer to understand. So let me say now, if I run this code now, Python is going to show an error. Python is going to show an error that, okay, Alpha, I don't understand what you're saying. Should is not defined. There's an error, can't open this file group. You see that I cannot execute the file. But if I now come here and comment it, if I come here and I put comment on it, sorry, I think I'm typing rubbish. I come here and I put comment on it, starting with what? The @ symbol. That line must start with what? The @ symbol on your computer. And I run this code now. You see that it's not going to. There's an error here. Let me use this one. Okay. Yeah, let me use this one. I think there's something wrong with that. So let me say this should print hello world. So I run this code. Okay, it was trying to read the number 1.py network. Okay, you see that I didn't show any error. It just showed what printed the hello world. Now let me remove this one. And let me remove this should. Let me close this one before it creates a nuisance here. So when I run this one now, you see that we have an error here. It said should is not defined, invalid syntax. Okay, the error is invalid syntax. Why? Because should is not meant to be there, and is Python is seeing an error. You don't understand what you're saying. So for me to do that, I had to hide it. That okay, Python, I don't want to see this line. It's not for you. It's for me and any other human being to read, not for you, the computer. I will put the # symbol in front of it, and I run my code, and Python will never be able to see it. Okay. You must not put it at the top. You can put it anywhere, but it's best is it's like a heading. It's like a heading. Okay, it's like a heading. Python will not understand. It can just be a heading or something. Okay, you can see that I didn't see that code. It's hidden from Python. All right, so now we're about to drop the class. Now I don't want this call to drop on us. So lastly, I can see some hands are being raised. Please drop a question on the income message now. This is the last chance for questions. I hope you all understood everything I'm saying, but if you don't understand, ask your questions now. This is the last chance until tomorrow. So if you have any question, please ask your questions now. Please ask your questions. Ask your questions now, please. If there's no question, I'm good to. If there's no question, give me celebration emoji. That you know, no question and you understand everything and you enjoy the class. Give me celebration emoji. If you don't have any question and you just like the class, just give me thumbs up. If you enjoy this class, celebration emojis. If the class is just normal to you, just give me thumbs up. The class continues tomorrow, please. Continues tomorrow and next tomorrow. It ends on, today is Sunday. It ends on Tuesday. Yeah. All right, so that means Opeyemi, the class is just normal to you. All right, that's fine, no problem, no problem. Okay, all right, I love what I'm saying. I love what I'm saying. It means we're actually getting a lot. Okay, okay, all right. All right, so that said, all right, so I'm going to call it an evening. So I'm going to send the let me send the I'm going to send the assignment to Ross. I'm going to send the assignment to Ross. So and then the recording is going to say I want to learn more about Python. Don't worry, we'll continue the class tomorrow. It's not going to end today. Continue the class tomorrow, okay? I love it that you want to learn more about Python. I like your interest. That's good, Taiwo. Keep it up. You will learn more, okay? So continue the class tomorrow, and finally on this thing then. So please, parents, continue to be with your children to the end of the class. It's just 3 days and it's just 1 hour. So try and make that sacrifice for them to encourage them to join us. All right. So that'll be all for today. Do have a wonderful night rest. So see you tomorrow, same time, 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Please try and come on time as well. Thank you and good night.